how to manifest things that you have resistance towards. Okay, so I guess this is, you can call this like a technique that we all have. So we're all influenced by certain, beliefs and teachings that we picked up along the way. Usually it's programmed into us in childhood that inform our thought process towards certain things. And that's why everyone has certain things that that seem like they come easily to them, or they can manifest certain results naturally in one area of their lives, but they find it really, really difficult to do so in another area. Or, they have blocks towards certain things because of certain life experiences and influences that they've accrued since they were a child. So an easy way, and this is like easy in the sense of you can start to apply it right away, right? You can apply it this moment, right after I tell you. Not easy in the sense of like you still have to do the work mentally, but that's how it goes for all inner work and all manifestation. So, for example, if you are, let's say that you have a pretty like limiting concept when it comes to money, and you've always found it difficult to manifest more money or to manifest financial abundance in your life, right? Maybe you were taught since you were little that money is bad, or like people who have money are bad, they're greedy. Money is hard to come by unless you work yourself to the bone. You're like, money doesn't grow on trees, right? You're not going to, it's very, very difficult. You have to put in a lot of effort. It takes a lot of like backbreaking labor in order to earn money. If that's the mindset that was programmed into you when you were younger and you're trying to change that, then it's very understandable that you can come up towards a lot of resistance when you're trying to manifest more money. So one way that I think you can immediately start to like shift your, one way that you can help yourself, and the reason that this works is because it connects things that you are already manifesting successfully, things that already come easily to you. This is a way to connect those towards this thing that you have traditionally or historically found it very difficult to manifest. So in this example, we're using money, right? So instead of worrying about how you want to be a millionaire and how are you going to get there, trying hard to undo the programming that you've had up until now about money, but then kind of failing, right? Your mind gets in the way, your logic, your conscious brain keeps getting in the way. Well, you can think of the ways in your life think of the areas in your life other than money that you are, or you embody the air of a millionaire with, if that makes sense. Let me try to say that again. So like think of the areas in your life and remind yourself of the areas that you're already successful at manifesting in, and how you're being a millionaire already, like how you are already embodying the personality or the traits of a millionaire in that area. So not in the actual money. For example, if you, let's say that you find it hard to manifest money, but you are good at okay, let's say that you are good at managing your time, right? Or yeah, you're good at managing your time, and let's say that you're good about prioritizing your self-care. It can literally be anything, like literally anything that you know or you already feel confident that you're good in, or you're already pretty satisfied with this area in your life. Think about what mindset do you have towards that thing, and then we can characterize that as basically the equivalent of a millionaire mindset when it comes to money, right? So if you are somebody who is like very organized with your time and you have good boundaries around personal time, self-care, right? So you're not going to, let's say that everyone else at your company, everyone else at your company is kind of like a workaholic, or they work overtime. They're not super efficient with the 8 hours that they have been given, like the normal 8 hours a day. So they always go overtime and they can't seem to finish things on time. But you're different, right? You're good at managing your time. You are good at finishing whatever, you are good at pacing yourself so that you finish whatever volume of work that you have by the deadline. So in that sense, I would say you can say that your attitude towards time management is that of a millionaire, right? So you can pat yourself on the back for that, because you already manifested that. That's not something that you have to try in. Let's say that you're Also, you're a very fit person, right? You prioritize exercise and you feel pretty good in general about like your health, your eating habits. So think about what is that, what do you do that makes your attitude and your way of living when it comes to your health and your diet and your physical fitness? What do you do that makes you a millionaire in those areas? Okay, so you have a lot of self-control, you know, if there's something that's like high calorie, a comfort food, like a craving that you have, you don't need to overeat or overindulge yourself in order to satisfy that craving. You know when to stop. You know, okay, how am I trying to explain this? So let's say that you want to um eat something high calorie, like a cheesecake, right? Cheesecake has a lot of calories. So let's say that you love cheesecake, it's your favorite food, and you don't deprive yourself of it, but you let yourself eat cheesecake, but you trust yourself that you have enough control to only eat like one slice, right? You're not going to sit down with the whole cake. So you're not one of those people that needs to keep junk food or keep fatty food out of their house in order to not to make sure that you don't cave in and eat too much. You are somebody who has enough self-control that you can keep an entire cheesecake in your fridge and you can make that cake last for like a week or 2 weeks, right? Because you have that self-control and self-discipline to eat only one slice per day for dessert, let's say. That can also be interpreted, that's a millionaire mindset in a way, because it's like the equivalent of that if you were somebody who had a lot of cash money would be that, you know, you make a lot of money, but you're not like, you know how to hold it, right? You know how to invest properly, how what percentage that you should save, you know about living below your means. And this is not to say like, yeah, if you want to manifest a lavish lifestyle where you have a lot of luxury goods, luxury vacations and stuff, that's great, right? Like that can be something that, well, that's a different topic because like you can get to that level is what I'm saying. You can get to the level where that's not going to feel like a splurge to you. It's just going to be like your daily normal life, right? So are you guys like understanding how I'm tying this into the cheesecake example? I hope I'm making myself clear. Like, you know, your attitude towards food, right? Your ability to control the, you know, your ability to hold like really delicious food and hold physically in your house, or hold the ability to like go out to delicious restaurants with your friends that offer foods that are not necessarily the healthiest for your body. Your ability to do that and still remain healthy and still have like a regimen and rules for yourself so that you can maintain your current level of health, your current weight, etc. That is equivalent to the ability of someone who's actually a millionaire or a billionaire who handles their money in the same way, right? Think of it like, yeah, compare somebody who is like a self-made millionaire who actually, you know, they built themselves from the ground up, or they don't have to be self-made, right? Because you can be a millionaire in many different, through many different ways. You don't have to limit the way that the universe gives you your money, right? You can get your money through an inheritance, you can marry rich, you can start your own business, you can even, you know, if you have a 9 to 5 job, let's say that you have a comfortable income of mid 6 figures, you can become a millionaire that way too, even though that's not like the popular way that is glorified these days, but that's still a viable route. So compare somebody like that who has, you know, built up their container for holding lots of money, holding lots of like wealth in their field, to somebody who was living paycheck to paycheck until yesterday, but then they won the lottery, right? They won mega millions. I don't know what it's called. I've never played the lottery actually, but let's say that somebody won $10 million in the lottery. Well, you hear like often, this is a phenomenon, that lots of people who win the lottery, they end up going bankrupt a couple years later because they did not know how to properly handle that money, right? So it's not about like, this will help you take your focus, and it will take the importance off of the actual monetary amount, which is probably what you're stressing over if you're somebody that has traditionally found it hard to manifest money. So in this is where we're shifting your focus to number one, things that you're already good at, right? So already that's like automatically putting you in a better mood about yourself. It's making you feel good about yourself, like, reminding you how much of a badass you are. Just because you are having a little trouble manifesting money at this point, it doesn't mean that you're not a badass in these other areas in your life, right? So that's number one. And then number two, we are placing this helps you dissolve your resistance by placing the focus on what really matters in manifestation. So not the physical outcome, not the physical money, you know, not the perfect toned body if you're somebody that's trying to lose weight or improve your health, but the actual mindset and the container, like spiritual container that you have for these things, so that you don't self-sabotage, right? You're not like living with you're not like somebody that went from living paycheck to paycheck on minimum wage yesterday to winning the Mega Millions today, and then it seems great in the short run, but you've actually never built up that capacity to handle such a large amount of money. So having such a jarring switch, I mean, there are people out there, I'm sure, who could handle that, but it's not a surprise that there are so many lottery winners that end up going bankrupt later on because they never built the container for all of that money. So let's get off the money example and let's give another example. Let's say that you're somebody who has trouble when it comes to the weight loss department or just health in general, right? You are trying to manifest a healthier lifestyle, a healthier approach towards food, or you're trying to, you know, lose weight or glow up, whatever it is. Again, think about the areas in your life that you are already acting like somebody who has control, right? So let's say that you're a very organized person, or you're a minimalist, your house is always neat and orderly. So maybe in that sense, you are embodying the mindset of a person that is able to lose weight, right? Because what does it take to be able to lose weight? Well, it takes discipline. It takes the ability to, you know, ration out like only a certain portion for only a certain size for your meals, right? Not going over a certain size, not overindulging, not giving into your impulse to just binge eat. That's something that if you're somebody, like, this is just an example, right? So if you are an organized person, right, if that's something that like everyone knows you for, your friends praise you for it, your coworkers walk by your desk and they comment all the time about how clean and organized you are, then it shows that you already embody and you already have inside you what it takes to be that person that has a good mindset when it comes to their health and their physical fitness. It's just a matter of transferring that mindset, the system that you have, like the mastery that you have over being an organized person, right? Being a minimalist, somebody that is very very clear about not living in clutter, not letting your house get to the point where it's over cluttered, not bringing in, you know, just random junk from like shopping hauls, making sure that you're intentional about what you buy to bring into your house, and then making sure that every object has a place in your house. You already have that ability to be disciplined in this area. So you just have to translate it over to weight loss, right? So it's at that point you realize also that it's not about like the practical tips or techniques that people give all the time about, oh, intermittent fasting, oh, you can try, you know, keto. I mean, all of those things, those are great, that's fine, you can try it, but if you're not in the right state of mind already before you try them out, then the chances are it's not likely to work, because at the end of the day, it's not about the actual, like the plan, the weight loss plan that you choose. It's about your mindset, right? So if you don't get your mindset right, and if you don't get your self-concept of yourself as an overall disciplined, you know, careful, deliberate person when it comes to all areas of your life, I would say, then the actual, like the 30-day keto weight loss routine, that's not going to be of much help to you. So last example I'll give is, let's say that you feel like you are somebody if you feel that you are somebody that has never really had that much luck in terms of love, right? In terms of finding people that are compatible to you, or in terms of, let's say you've just you've had relationships before, but they always fall apart, or it's hard for you to meet somebody, carry a relationship into the long term. Or yeah, okay, let's just make it simple. Sorry, I feel like this is the problem. My mind goes in a million directions, but I need to get this live streaming thing down, because I'm applying my own advice, right? So my fear of live streaming, my belief about myself that I'm not good at impromptu speaking, I'm not good at speaking without a script. I need to override this belief, because I need to, I remind myself that, okay, but I am good at improvising. Like, for example, today when I did this makeup look, this was a very spontaneous thing. When I was looking at trailers for the new Little Mermaid movie, I really, really want to see The Little Mermaid, and the release date for my neighborhood cinema is like March 9th. No, not March. This is June 9th, which is like too far away for me, but I guess I don't really have a choice. I have to wait until June 9th. So I really want to see the new live action Little Mermaid, and then I happen to have this new palette in from Odin's Eye, which has like the perfect color story for Ursula. So I did this makeup, and I didn't have like a clear plan going into it. I just went into it having fun, knowing that I was going to enjoy it, and knowing that even if the outcome was disastrous, it was not a big deal, right? There was no pressure. I also, yeah, I'm basically like, I'm very spontaneous in every other area of my life, and I've never felt anxiety about it, right? Like when it comes to food, I'm very spontaneous about, sometimes I'll eat the exact same dish for 3 weeks on end because I'm just that obsessed with it. And then sometimes, I'll switch abruptly and I'll never eat that thing that I ate for a month straight ever again. And then I'll switch to something else, like sushi to pizza. Or I'll decide that, okay, today I'm gonna eat a huge lunch, and then I'm just not gonna eat dinner. I'm gonna offset, like, so that the pounds don't creep up, I'm going to offset this huge lunch because I feel like eating a huge feast of a lunch. So that means that I'm just gonna cool it when it comes to dinner. I don't have a plan for exactly, I'm not one of those people that eats at exactly 12 p.m. every day, exactly 6 p.m. for dinner. I like to be spontaneous, and I'm kind of like that with my sleep too, which is kind of a problem. Like, I don't know necessarily that it's such a positive thing for me, but I make it work, like it's not like I oversleep, like I'm sleeping more hours a day than I should. It's just that I like to have freedom about when I go to sleep and when I wake up. I don't I've always been spontaneous in that way. So then why can't I apply that spontaneousness toward spontaneity, I think is the word. Why can't I apply that towards live streaming, right? It's no big deal. It's just an extension of something that I already know how to do, and I'm already successfully manifesting in my life in other areas. So back to the last example about somebody who's unlucky in love, or who just feels like, okay, they never find somebody, they're never able to find people that they truly click with, or they're just, they're scared that they're not going to find someone that is really compatible with them. They're scared that time is running out, blah, blah, blah. Whatever thoughts of resistance come up to your declaration that you are going to manifest this love into your life, right? Again, just look at other areas in your life that you don't have resistance, you don't have doubts towards. Let's say that, so for example, if you're like me, you have a very clear sense of, you really like fashion. So I enjoy fashion, I enjoy makeup, jewelry, like all the aesthetic things. I enjoy, I'm not like, so sometimes I do find it difficult or challenging to find like the exact style of something that I want, but I'm not somebody that is ever lost when it comes to what type of aesthetic she wants to give off, right? Or like what aesthetic I'm going for in any given day, because I like several different aesthetics. So for example, if I'm thinking of, okay, so I have a couple of packages from like months ago that I've been meaning to unbox that have been sitting in the corner. One is from Atelier Pierrot and the other one is from Vivienne Westwood. And yeah, I know it's like a huge shame. It's very shameful that I have taken this long to unbox, but Anyway, it will get done, trust me. I'm declaring it here. I'm unboxing my Vivienne Westwood and Atelier Pierrot packages next month. But like, okay, let's say that, so I bought a blazer from Vivienne Westwood, right? I actually don't remember. I think it was like blue checked tartan was the pattern. So let's say that I wanted to find a, you know, a necklace or an accessory that goes with that blazer really well. Even if I don't have a clear picture in my mind, if I walked into a store and I saw like a necklace that fit my aesthetic tastes exactly, and if I saw that it would match that blazer really well, I would know immediately that I am meant to purchase that necklace and take it home with me, right? So again, that's something that's one area of my life, even though like you might think that it's not related or it can't be compared, because like a romantic relationship, that doesn't make sense to really compare it with inanimate objects. But again, we're not talking about the actual situation. We're not talking about the 3D. We're talking about like your energy and your confidence behind certain scenarios, right? So when it comes to style and fashion, I am one of those people that I might have a really particular thing in mind, so it might take me a little while. Like I might have to go to 50 stores before I find it, but when I find it, I will recognize instantly, right? Like, have you ever, I'm sure that everyone has had that experience where they just walk into a store and then like the first thing that they see, whether it's a handbag or a necklace or a dress or something, you just see it, and the moment you see it, it's like it's calling out to you. You know that that dress was made for you, right? Like it was just divinely placed in your path. So if you were someone like that, right? Or if you can relate to me on this front, then again, that's the same thing as like falling in love, meeting somebody and hitting it off with them, or like meeting somebody and just recognizing that, oh, this could be my person, right? Like being able to just know from the first second that you meet someone that you guys are meant to be together. So just because it hasn't happened to you yet does not mean that you need to lose confidence in this area, because you already know that you have it in you in this other area, right? Like it's okay, I'm using a silly example, but with fashion, you don't have hesitations or doubts when it comes to what fits your style and what is meant to be part of your wardrobe. So when you see it, you know immediately, and there's no hesitation, and you just pick up the item, right? Bring it to the register and pay for it. Take that energy, take that certainty that you have towards fashion, and apply it to, transfer it to your love life, right? So yeah, I hope this helps. Basically the point is to, if you find yourself thinking about or frustrated about how you're not able to manifest certain things in your life that you have blocks towards, and you know that, you know, it's fine if you are, everyone's at a work in progress, so it's fine, it's great if you're actively working towards, you know, removing those blocks or reprogramming those beliefs that are seemingly preventing you from getting this particular thing in your life. But sometimes if you, like, inherently, if you find yourself frustrated about not getting your manifestation in that area, then that means that you're probably coming up towards some resistance in that moment. And I personally think like the best thing you can do in that scenario, and also the most efficient thing that you can do to start, you know, getting the gears turning again and not just like stuck at this intersection or whatever, is to take your focus off of that big manifestation, take your focus off the thing that you have resistance towards, and then apply it to areas in your life that you don't have resistance towards. You know, it's already in the bag. Borrow the mentality that you have towards the things that you're successful at manifesting. And then also, when you, just by thinking of the things that you already have, this is kind of like practicing gratitude, right? Very simple. Just by thinking of and reminding yourself of the things that you already successfully manifested, you're already successfully, you not just manifested them, but you're keeping them in your life as a consistent thing. It's not something that like comes and goes. It's something that you've locked in. Just the act of focusing on that is going to raise your vibration and your confidence on an overall level, which will in turn help you move forward when it comes to the bigger manifestations or the more difficult manifestations in your life. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to probably re-upload this on my second channel, which I just started a couple of days ago. There are 2 subscribers. Thank you so much. It's called Slither Ren. Okay, Ren, R-E-N. So Slytherin has R-I-N, but this one is Slither Ren, R-E-N, like my name. And it is the term that I have coined for, it's called, oh my god, it's called Slytherin mentality. Okay, so that's just one word, no space. It is the term that I coined for the level after savage. So if you want like really savage, Slytherin, like above savage, okay, you've already reached the savage level, you're already like making a lot of progress in your manifestations, but you want to go even further, you want to become even more unstoppable, then subscribe to the Slytherin mentality channel, because I definitely have big plans for the content that I'm going to be putting over there. Subscribe to Slytherin mentality, and I'll see you later. I hope this was helpful.